Welcome back to Clean with Kate. It's Monday and I've been doing my weekly home blessing hour. So I wanted to talk to you a little about the weekly home blessing hour. If you've done the 31 baby steps with me in January, the weekly home blessing hour is a really good place to start with one of your next tasks. So we're going to work this week through the basic weekly plan. So Monday in the FlyLady system, Monday is weekly home blessing hour. So this means, this is my weekly home blessing list for my control journal. So you want to get a piece of paper and then you can write your weekly home blessing list on it, ready to go in your control journal. So what weekly home blessing hour is, it's 6 10-minute tasks that will make a really big difference to how your house feels each week. And you do them every week. You can either do them all in one day or you can split them up throughout the week. So I tend to try and do mine on a Monday. I tend to do all 6 tasks if I can on a Monday morning. And the secret of the weekly home blessing hour is not to spend too long on each task. You need to use a timer. When the timer goes off, you need to change tasks. If you don't do this, you'll find you'll spend the whole time just doing one thing. I could spend 60 minutes vacuuming my house and it still wouldn't all be done. You get the gist. So my weekly home blessing hour, and this is pretty much the same as FlyLadies. So the first task I do is deal with the mail and the rubbish. So any mail that's come into the house during the week that hasn't been dealt with, I put it on the kitchen table and we deal with it. And the other thing that I do is I empty the bins. So for example, today I've got 2 recycling bins. They've both been emptied and cleaned. I didn't empty the rubbish bins because I emptied them at the end of last week because they were just smelling like they needed to be emptied. I did that on Friday. I also emptied my little compost caddy. So we have a compost collection each week from the council. So I emptied the compost caddy, tied up the bag, it's gone to the curb, and I've actually washed out the compost bin, the compost caddy, and I'm gonna put a new bag in it when it's dry. So that's the first task, and then that took me no more than 10 minutes, and I did set a timer. The second task is I dusted and polished the flat surfaces. So this is a speed clean. This is not a detail clean. You don't move anything. You just whiz around the house and dust and polish all the flat surfaces that you can get to without moving anything. And then each week, start in a different room. I tend to start in whatever room we're in with the zone work that week. So for example, today, I think we're in zone 1 today. It's a little bit of confusion generally in FlyLady world, which one we're in, but I think we're in zone 1, which is the entrance. So I started in the entrance, so I gave the entrance a good dust, and then I went upstairs, I did the bedroom. What other rooms have I done? I did the kitchen, I did the dining room, so I did quite a few bits. I didn't actually get to the lounge today, but I did what I could in 10 minutes. And then the next task is glass, so that means cleaning windows and mirrors. So that's just the ones that need it the most. So things like your front door if it's glazed, windows, French windows that go down to the ground. If you have dogs, they always have puppy nose prints on them. In my case, they do anyway. The other thing is to do the mirrors. So the mirrors in the bathroom. As FlyLady says, you often get dental floss home runs on them, so they might be covered in toothpaste spatters, water splatter. So you get the general idea. So you go around to spend 10 minutes cleaning all the glass surfaces. I like to use a glass cleaner for this, but I think my favourite one at the moment is the Method glass cleaner. Thank you for Daniel reminding me to look for it. So once you've done that task, once the timer goes off, stop and go on to the next task. So task 4 for me is to vacuum the hard floors. So I could spend all day vacuuming. This is just the high traffic areas in your house. So places like the entrance, the kitchen, your main reception room. So just spend 10 minutes vacuuming. You don't have to move furniture or go into corners. We'll do that when we do our detailed cleaning. This is just a speed clean that makes your house presentable and just makes your house feel nicer. And then my next task is because I have quite a big house, I have to then vacuum carpets. So I give myself 10 minutes to vacuum the carpets. And again, it's just the middles, you're not moving furniture, you're not moving things around, just the high traffic areas. So for me, our bedroom has a carpet, so I'll vacuum the high traffic areas in there. It always needs doing. And usually I'll do the hallway where we have rugs and also the lounge where we have a large rug. And also by vacuuming your carpets regularly, it reduces things like moths. Because if you leave your carpets and don't vacuum them regularly, you often find you get moth damage, particularly if you've ever had a moth infestation, you'll know what I mean. And the last task on my weekly home blessing, I don't know why I leave it till last. I think it's because it's the one I like the least. And it's the one that has the most effect. But I find that I need to leave this one till after I've vacuumed. and dusted is to mop my hard floors. Because I have dogs, this always needs doing. And in fact today, because I have quite a lot of hard floors in the house, so usually I only get to do a proportion of them each week, but they all needed it. We've had some rain last week, and my puppies are very muddy, and so my husband helped me. We have 2 mops and 2 mop buckets, and we both blitzed it for 10 minutes, so all of the downstairs, all the hard floors got mopped, which is really, really great. So if you can get somebody to help you, it's even better. And then on FlyLady's list, she doesn't have as much floor to do as I have, so she has changed bedding. I don't tend to do that on a part of my weekly home blessing unless I think it needs it. So if it needs it, then I do it. But if I've, say, done it at the end of last week, I wouldn't then do it again on a Monday. If you have a lot of people in the house, if you've got children at home, you could rotate through which bedding you wash. So each Monday, do a different family member's bedding. So I did, when the children were at home, I did do that. So I did do it on a Monday. Anyway, so that's my weekly home blessing list. I've done most of it today. There was a couple I did. I'm just thinking, is there anything I haven't done? Actually, I don't think I've vacuumed the bedroom carpet. So although I said I think I've done a lot of vacuuming, but I haven't vacuumed the carpet in the bedroom. So I think I'm probably going to do that after I finish here. Today, I've had quite a busy day, so I have actually split my weekly home blessing up. I did some of it this morning, then I did some work, then I did some of it after lunch, because I often feel a bit lethargic after lunch, so it's a good time to move. And then after I've done this video, I'm going to finish it and do the rest. Sorry, I've just had a call come through. It's gone again, so I don't know who it was. Probably work, hopefully not work. Anyway, I'm just going to run you through. I might need to pause actually and just check the message. Okay, I'm back. My husband's dealing with the phone call. Right, so I'm just going to run you through. That's my weekly home blessing. So I do it on a Monday. I've been following the FlyLady system now for about 25 years, and this system works really well for me. It just makes the house feel more under control. So I'm just going to run you through what I've got, an original Sink Reflections, original FlyLady book. I'm just going to run you through what FlyLady says about the weekly home blessing. So she says, Monday, I do my weekly cleaning chores. She actually says in the book, she does them between 8 and 9 a.m. That's a really good idea, actually. I don't actually do that because I have a lot of other things that I usually do first. I usually try and do it, so I fit it in when I can, to be fair. So it does vary a little bit. I always used to do it between 10 and 11 every Monday, but then life gets complicated and I can't always fit it in then. So I tend to split it up throughout Monday. If I don't get it all done on a Monday, I quite often do a little bit on Tuesday or Wednesday. Anyway, what does she say? Monday, I do my weekly cleaning hour. I spend 1 hour blessing our home. If the truth be told, I only spend 10 minutes a chore. Apologies, I had to take another pause there. I was really thirsty. I needed a glass of water. Anyway, what does she say? If the truth be told, I only spend 10 minutes a chore. And when the timer goes off, I stop what I'm doing and I start on the next chore. Now that is crucial. If you want to work your way through the list of 6 things, you have to stop when the timer goes off. I tend to actually use, I've put it on charge now, but I tend to use my Apple Watch to time it, but you can use any timer. The only reason I use my Apple Watch is because it goes with me. And you will find when you do this, it's quite a workout. You will be moving. So I find if I use the other sort of time, I often forget where I've put it. I've actually had to put it on charge because I count it as a workout, and then so it wears itself out. Right, I set that. So where is it? So task 1, FlyLady's. This is FlyLady's task 1. I don't believe it. I've got a dog wants to go out now. Task 1 for FlyLady. She says, I set a timer for 10 minutes. I change the sheets on our bed. I will finish making the bed, but I go really fast with the timer. I have done this, but I think it takes me a bit longer than 10 minutes to change the bed, because part of that for me is it takes me longer than 10 minutes. I don't know, and quite often my husband and I will do it together, and it still takes 2 of us 10 minutes to do it. And then I like to then put the washing straight in the washing machine and get it on. So if I'm changing, that's probably why I don't do it as part of my weekly home blessing, because it takes me longer than 10 minutes to change the bedding on our king size bed. Anyway, task 2, she says, I set the timer for 10 more minutes and I gather up all the trash in the house and put it in the trash can. Well, our trash is already in our trash can, so I've changed that slightly. For me, what I do is I get all the bins and I actually take them out to the wheelie bins. because we have bins in the house, but then we also have bins by the curb. So that's my task. My first task, in fact, my weekly home blessing is to deal with the mail and the rubbish. And that's the recycling, the compost caddy and the rubbish. So then what does she say? After this, I dust the horizontal surfaces with a feather duster in one hand and a dust rag and polish in the other. The way I do this, I don't use a feather duster. I did use a feather duster for a while, but I found I got little mites in the duster, and then they ate the feathers, which was really unpleasant. So I had to throw my duster away. And actually now I use a microfiber cloth or old-fashioned yellow duster. And I've got this lovely thing that I use for cleaning the flat surfaces. I should have got it out actually. I haven't got it on me at the moment. I could take a pause and go and get it. I think I will. I'm back. Anyway, I have this cute little basket. It's a little vintage basket. And in it, I have this. So this is actually, you can actually remove the cover of this. It's quite dusty at the moment. It does need a wash again. And then this is absolutely brilliant for doing flat surfaces. I also have this one, which is also good for doing between radiators and under the TV, because our TV is sat on a cabinet. I've got another one here. So I've got a selection. Who doesn't love a cleaning product? I've got this one as well, which is really good for dusting. And then I love this polish. I love the scent of this. I was actually in a local hardware store at the weekend, a hardware store in Sheringham called Blythe and Ride, and I noticed they had an amazing selection of beeswax wood polishes. And I thought, ooh, and they were in pots, really it's a lovely old-fashioned hardware store on the North Norfolk coast. And I thought I might treat myself to one of those. I didn't, because I've got quite a lot of these in, which I also love. But these are a non-silicone furniture polish with beeswax. But I think if I love this, I probably love the pure beeswax furniture polishes. And then the other thing, I've got the old-fashioned yellow duster. Golly, that one's ready for a wash. But I've also made some disposable dusters here out of old leggings. So sometimes I use these. It just depends what the mood takes me. And then I've got this little thing as well, which is again useful for just reaching awkward spots. So that's my selection of dusting tools. Because if you have the right tools, it makes the job easier and it makes it more fun. Okay, let's go on to the next one. What does she say after that? Well, so we've dusted again, spend 10 minutes, and when the timer goes off, stop and do the next thing on your list. So FlyLady says she doesn't actually have any carpet, so her next task would be to sweep or dust her floors. Well, I vacuum my hard floors. I use my Henry or my Hetty to do that with the floor tool brush on, and I find that's the most efficient for me because we have dogs. There's always dog hair, there's always debris. So I then do that for 10 minutes. When the time, again, the high traffic areas, just hit the high traffic areas, and then when the timer goes off, I stop and I move on to the next task, which for me is vacuuming the carpets. And FlyLady's given some tips here. She says, you can just vacuum the middles. That means the high traffic areas, not under the furniture, and do this as fast as you can. I think the thing is not to be perfectionist about it. You're not going to be able to vacuum your whole house in 10 minutes. So just do the bits that need doing the most. You'll know which areas they are in your house. I could actually see some that we missed this morning because my husband was helping me. We were both vacuuming, and there's an area around here where the plants drop really badly, and he's not spotted that. It's been missed, but I think I'll pop in later and do it. Right, what else does she say? Okay, her next task on her list is to spend 10 minutes getting rid of old magazines from her coffee table. Oh my goodness, I was going to say I don't actually need to do this one, but actually my coffee table is currently covered in old magazines, and that's because I'm really bad at getting rid of old magazines. My daughter gave me lots last year when I was doing a project on the house, and they're still there. I think I need to look through them and probably let them go now because we pretty much finished the house project, or I need to give them to someone else who's in the middle of a house project. And I do know a couple of people that are, and they might be grateful because sometimes you can get some good ideas out of magazines without having to buy the magazines. Anyway, I was going to say I don't normally need to do that because I don't buy magazines, but we do have some. But I tend to do my mail instead of my magazines because we get a lot of mail, even though in this day and age you would think we wouldn't, but we still seem to get a lot of mail. Anyway, what's the next task? She says that getting rid of the old magazines doesn't take that long, so then she usually tackles a hotspot. She works on her constant hotspot, which is the table beside her chair. So you know where the hotspots in your house are, so you could tackle a hotspot as one of your weekly home blessing tasks. I don't tend to do that because I have so many things I need to do, but I do my hotspots regularly each day. I can say, I'm looking at one now, I've got another hotspot behind me of notebooks, pens, my glasses, a ruler, all sorts. So I will be tackling a hotspot this evening. Okay, after this, she says, I put the finishing touches to the room. I take the window cleaner. This is my current favourite. I'm really loving this Method one, which I bought in a local supermarket. It doesn't make me cough, unlike quite a lot of the other ones. And it does give a really good clean. I'm very pleased with it, actually. Thank you, whoever recommended it. So she says, I put the finishing touches to the room. I take the window cleaner, clean the windows in my front door, my back door, and I clean all the mirrors in the house. You know, all those toothpaste splatters and dental floss home runs. I spend 10 minutes tops. Yep, I do exactly the same. So I just hit the spots that I know will need doing. And you know in your house which ones those will be. I have a constant puppy paw prints all over my windows every week, every day. It's relentless at the moment, living in the countryside and having 2 puppies. Okay, what else does she say? The beauty of this system is it gets the basics done, but it does not have to be done perfectly. If you work outside your home and you have to leave the house in the morning, then do some of these chores in the morning and some in the evening. Yes, that worked really well for me for many years. When I was working outside the home, I did split it up. I couldn't get it all done in one go, unless I was feeling particularly energetic in an evening. But with young children, it's often hard to find an hour when you can get everything done. So I would split it up. I used to do 10 minutes each day. What else does she say? So if you work outside the home, do some in the morning and some in the evening. And in 3 days, you'll have done all your weekly cleaning jobs. She says, quit trying to kill yourself doing weekly cleaning. I would second that. I would absolutely second that. It does need to be done, but it doesn't have to be done by you. The other alternative is to employ somebody to do your weekly cleaning. I also did that when I worked outside the house for many years. And it was a godsend. It was an absolute godsend to come in from work and find these 2 wonderful ladies had been into my house and cleaned it top to bottom. So you have to make it work for you. Don't beat yourself up if you need to get help, because for many years I did need to get help. Even though I was doing the FlyLady system, I still needed some extra help. What else does she say? Even if you just hit a lick at a snake, you've done more than you did last week. After all, it is progress, not perfection. Even if you just get one of your weekly home blessing tasks done, it's a start. The other thing I sometimes do, if I'm feeling I've got plenty of time, I will make each task 15 minutes so I do get more done. And I'll do a bit of zone work while I'm at it, so I'll try and do a bit more of detail cleaning. If I'm feeling completely pushed for time or I'm feeling tired, I'll just do 5 minutes on each task, but at least it means I've done something. Do you get the idea? You could even just do 3 minutes or 2 minutes, but as long as you're doing something to move you forward. I'm just going to pause while I have another drink. The key thing with the FlyLady system is to make it work for you, and whatever your personal situation is. We're all at different stages in our journey and our lives, and we all have different levels of time and energy. So the thing is to make it work for you is so that you can enjoy your home, and that you don't feel guilty, that you're not beating yourself up, you don't feel like you're behind. So what else does she say? She also says the more you declutter your home, the easier the weekly upkeep clean will be. That's very true. The more stuff you have, I know this from experience because I have a lot of stuff. The more stuff you have, the harder it is to clean. So she says, promise me that you will not beat yourself up if you don't get the whole house done. Absolutely, I never get the whole house done. I cut myself a lot of slack. It is okay, you will do more next week. This is how the system works. And if you do it each week, it does get easier. And once you start doing the other things, the decluttering, the daily routines, the zone work, it all starts to come together and you will find it gets easier. I honestly did not think I would ever be able to cope without a cleaner. And I still have days where I think maybe I do need a cleaner. But mainly because I follow this system, it works well for me. And I enjoy doing it. So it doesn't feel like a chore. All right, what else does she say? It is the perfectionist in you that doesn't think it is clean unless you can see it all done at once. Oh golly, we've all been there, haven't we? Where we look at the job and the job seems so enormous that you think it's not worth even starting. But then you do something and then it looks better, and then the momentum of that builds, and gradually you will get more and more done. But sometimes the task just seems enormous. So she says, this attitude is what got your home in bad shape that it is in now. Eventually your home will never look dirty. We're so used to only cleaning when the dirt and guilt are so bad that we can't stand to look at the mess one more minute. You are going to be so surprised with your newfound free time, because with your routines, you will feel like you are hardly cleaning at all. Housework done incorrectly still blesses your family. I love that. I've got to write that down in my control journal. It's one of my favourite FlyLady sayings. It's so true. It's so true. You think, how can just doing an hour of cleaning make a difference? But it does. Even just doing half an hour, if you do 6 tasks for 5 minutes, it makes a difference. It makes a difference in how the house looks and feels, but it also makes a difference in how you feel, because you feel empowered, you feel inspired, you feel more in control of things, which is, I think maybe that's quite an important feeling, to feel like we are in some sort of control of our homes and our lives. She says, it may not be done the way your mama taught you. To be fair, my mama didn't really teach me to clean. She was quite laid back. My grandma, on the other hand, oh my goodness, my grandma was amazing. I remember as a child, I think my mum thought my grandmother was insane, because my mum really wasn't into cleaning. I don't remember seeing my mum clean. She must have cleaned. She must have just cleaned when we were at school. But she used to make fun of my grandmother, who cleaned a lot. My grandmother was really old school, homemaker. She used to spring clean. She'd be up ladders cleaning. And my mum honestly thought my grandmother was insane. She'd say to me, when I was a child, she'd say to me, do you know your grandmother's been cleaning her skirting boards? As if this was really abnormal. So I grew up thinking very much that cleaning wasn't a normal thing to do. And I don't think I ever saw my mum cleaning, maybe occasionally running the vacuum cleaner around. And she never got me involved in cleaning. She never tried to sort of teach me how to clean or do laundry or anything like that, to be fair. I did make sure before my children left home that they could all look after themselves. They could all do laundry. They could all, do the basics, keep their rooms tidy, clean their rooms. Because I felt when I went into my first house or flat, I was a little bit lost. I hadn't really picked up any of this along the way, even though luckily I had spent a lot of time with my grandma, and she did have a massive influence on me, and I loved her house. I loved being in my grandma's house. So I think probably subliminally, my grandmother brainwashed me, thank goodness, so that I did have some clue of what I was doing. Anyway, as usual, I'm getting a little sidetracked here, aren't I? So anyway, FlyLady says, it may not be done the way your mama taught you, but it will be done. This will make your home shine, and it will make you smile. Even just talking about weekly home blessing hour makes me smile. So yes, just having a quick look through here. Yes, I think that's probably enough for today. My voice is getting quite tired from talking. I need to finish my weekly home blessing. I'm sorry I didn't make a video of me actually doing it today, but it was quite a full-on one. And as my husband was helping me today with it, we were sort of doing some of the chores together because we had a busy day. I didn't feel it was fair to video him doing it as well, so I didn't video it. I just got it done, and that's okay. I mustn't be perfectionist about it, so I'm sorry I didn't video it for you to do it with me, but I thought I'd come and talk to you about weekly home blessing and hopefully inspire you to start doing a weekly home blessing or a weekly clean, a weekly upkeep clean, because it does make a huge difference. Where FlyLady says you never need to see dirt again, that is mainly true. Although I found a window last week where I mustn't have cleaned it for ages. It's because I've had some flowers in front of it, and I couldn't believe how black it was. But actually I got quite excited when I found that, because it was lovely to clean it because it was so dirty. And most of the time my windows don't look like that. So I think that's what she probably means. Anyway, thank you for joining me. If you have any questions about weekly home blessing or FlyLady system or cleaning, pop them in the comments. I'm always happy to answer them. And if you're enjoying the videos, please do like, comment and subscribe. It's really appreciated. And I love to hear from you. Anyway, happy cleaning. Bye for now.